Honorable Speaker, Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Members of Parliament, and officials of the Parliamentary Service, we fully understand the pressure, Mr. Speaker, that you are under, and are very happy that you called us back to be able to make this short but important presentation. On Wednesday, the 2nd of July, His Excellency President Mahama will launch the 24-hour program and accelerate export development. We cannot, by any stretch of imagination, not present you with a program before that, and then later come and do a full presentation to your team at the Parliamentary Secretary. In short, the program is designed to transform production with agriculture as its main anchor, to develop our value chains so that we're able to achieve greater productivity for expanded output, to feed industry, to achieve food self-sufficiency, and also to be able to export. The program is made up of 3 anchors: production transformation, supply chain and market efficiency, and human capital development. And those anchors are supported by 8 sub-programs. Grow 24, which is the agricultural component; Make 24, which is a manufacturing component; Connect 24, which is a supply chain component; Aspire 24, which is a mindset change, the resetting of the Ghanaian, equipping the Ghanaian worker, Ghanaian bureaucracy with a strong and powerful attitude to productivity and to work closely. Because without that, we cannot achieve the design of reset that is the ambition of all of us as a country, and not just the President's ambition. Then we have, as part of Aspire 24, a very strong component to introduce digital technology and acquaintance with digital technology to our workforce, beginning with the TVET system and mainstreaming digital education as part of the curriculum of TVET, so that we create a workforce that is upcoming, that will be as digitally fluent as any other workforce in Africa or indeed in the world. And then we have a component called Show Ghana. And Show Ghana is about the rich, diverse culture that we as a country possess, and which identifies us as who we are, and also establishes our historical legacy and the importance of that legacy to our diaspora, and also in terms of the varied and most powerful cultural forms, both literary, both in terms of dance, in terms of food, that we can market to the world, also as an export, and also as an attraction for tourists. And then we have, right, Honourable Speaker, you will be very familiar with this because you were very much part of the days of hunger in 83-84, which we pulled out of satisfactorily from 1988. We have Go Ghana, which is a mobilization program, where all communities in this country, all persons of any political persuasion, because this is a citizens program, to be able then to see that they also reconstruct and build their communities through the volunteerism that we saw over so many years, beginning with independence and also during the time of the NDC, and also during the Operation Feed Yourself program, where we are all engaged in building our country, reconstructing, so our youth will stay at home, which achieve the valor of construction, the valor of building our own country, the valor of self-reliance. And part of the Go Ghana agenda is a made in Ghana agenda. There are so often situations where, when we're doing tenders, the Ghanaian product is probably about 2 or 3% higher than the foreign products, and we opt for the foreign products and put our manufacturers at a disadvantage. We must end that and use the state as a promoter of local manufacture through the procurement practices that we adopt. So that school uniforms, parliamentaries, service suits, all of that can be made in Ghana, even if it's just to add value. So, Mr. Speaker, without speaking too much, because I know you have been very hard at work and must go to dissect and prepare for that, I have the honor to present to you the 24-hour program, which is the transformation agenda program. Thank you, sir, for having us. We're very pleased.
I will pick on that.
Thank you so much. I was expecting you to be longer than this. I wanted a whole Jose on screen, but looking at the documents you brought, that would have taken us a whole day. And these are, I believe, the various models, sub-programs of the whole 24-hour economy. And you see how they are summarized it in very catchy language that if we are all able to imbibe, it will be a very catalytic tool to the implementation of the 24-hour economy. Members may want to say one or two things. I will give you the opportunity. There was a presentation already to all members of parliament. I'm sure not all of you were available, but since they wanted to launch it, they just decided to come through me to make a presentation before the launch on the 2nd of July. That is just next month. We will definitely be calling for more copies, and I'm sure members will want to digest it. So at the individual level, we stand to benefit a lot. I recall my response to a concern of the staff that because we change our sitting hours to 2, it's going to compel them to stay longer into the night. And we're saying that that will be disadvantageous to them because it means they are going to work more hours. They are reporting in the morning 8 and maybe going home 10 or 11, and particularly those in the official reporting division, the Hansard division, the table office and the rest. Their journals, they say the whole 24 hours working here. And my response to them was that they don't have any case at all because we can employ many more. And so you come and work your 8 hours, you go home, another person will take over for 8 hours, the person will go home, another will take for 8 hours. So get more people working here. That will rather reduce unemployment. And I can assure you that the load of work here is unimaginable. People don't understand it. It's too much. Parliaments that I know, not as vibrant and effective as our parliaments, are having staff between 10,000, 15,000. For the US and the rest, it's over 25,000. Here we are still struggling to get 1,000. So we have a lot of opportunity to employ many people here and to push the agenda of development faster than we are doing. But the mindset of the Ghanaian, which is one of the things we are focusing on, is very crucial. They are very used to things of yesteryears. And when I hear somebody say, oh, but this is how it is done, I know that you are not born yet. The fact that it was done that way yesterday doesn't mean that it should be done the same way today. You know, we have to keep on developing. And so we are excited that this has come, but we need to know more of it to see whether it will be part of the usual talk. And you know how we are losing trust of our followers. As politicians, as leaders, they seem to be leaving us behind. But one of the things that they don't understand is that followers matter. And followers determine leadership. That aspect, they don't know it. Because some of our theorists have come out to say that leadership is cause. Everything else is effect. That's not wholly true. Leadership is critical, it's important, but followers matter. And we can see that in Ghana, how followers can capture you. It's not only state that captures. Followers do capture. And so I'm happy that you are here to present this. And there's this opportunity for those of you who still need some more explanation. Well, we need everybody on board. Once we start categorizing this matter, either on partisan or religious or ethnic or whatever basis, then we have got it. We have to make it a national program. One of the things I will propose is the fact that after the launch, it must be presented to the people's representatives to give the official stamp of approving it, which meant that we have to have the opportunity to debate it and approve. Then we get the buy-in of all the organs of government. We did that with Vision 2020, and I did call for the free senior higher education for it to be brought for us to approve. I didn't get good response because that is part of the function of Parliament. You don't only deliberate, but you give legitimacy by saying that yes, the people that we represent agree that this program will work to their benefit with our approval. Once it doesn't come, we find it difficult ourselves to go back to the same people to advocate for them to accept it. So you can get it approved at your level, but when it comes to implementation, it's not the executive that drives the implementation. Advocacy mostly on daily basis rests on Parliament. Because there is no other public official that interacts with the people on daily basis more than a member of Parliament. None. And so you always need the members of Parliament to be with you on whatever you want to do. When you have serious objections from it, when you have critical voices from it, you just in good faith accept them and see how you maybe improve upon what you brought, or take them on board and try to convince them that what you have proposed is better than what the person is suggesting. That is how you can get all of us to work together. But when the person is ignored, then that becomes a headlock, a roadblock. That becomes an opposition, and that retards progress. And that is what democracy is trying to solve. That we work together, build peace, collaborate, harmonize, build consensus, and define what we call the common good. Once we get that done, then everything becomes seamless. And so we are happy to have you. We have a few MPs here, some joined later. She was a deputy minister, right? Yes, she was a deputy minister at the very critical Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You know, they used to deny me vehicles. I always complain. I've not stopped complaining anytime I meet her or the boss. And so she has come in, and I'm sure she will have something to add. Yeah, you were around when we started. You also came in. No, this gentleman, were you also around? No. He was around long ago, but these days I don't see him. It's got some greener pastures somewhere. This MP also came in when you were making the presentation. And who is the other person? No, she was around for the very beginning. For administration. Yeah, human resource was around, director administration. And then you were not also available. But you just came in. Yes. And so we have these new faces. Unfortunately, because of my age, I can't memorize their names. And my age is too young, so I'm still there. So I'll open up for a few minutes. Then after that, if you have something to say, particularly maybe my boss here. And this young man, we're working together in Lord Trust. We are the partners in Lord Trust. But now we've been jettisoned. We are no longer so long. So, one of Chichi, you know, is one of the brains. And we used to be in the revolution together. We used to learn together. And anytime he was on his feet, hey, that was something else. And he was the replica of PV. So please, the ball is now in your court. I'll give any of you who wants the opportunity to have a right to raise issues, make commentary, remarks, or whatever. Speak up.
Committee on Employment, Social Welfare, State Enterprise, Committee on Public Administration, and then Committee on Employment, Social Welfare, State Enterprise.
Yes.
Carefully.
There are the committees that the support from World Bank and the UK is coming to FIFA. So you will benefit from that and will have to send out and in to build up your capacity. But as I keep on emphasizing, that is subject to good behavior, which is defined as me.
Unfortunately, we have the chair of the backbench as well.
You have to manage the backbenchers well, or else you will never qualify. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you again for the opportunity. I must say that I'm very excited here today, considering that unemployment has been a problem in our nation. We are talking about double digits unemployment, especially amongst our youth. Also, I must add that I'm also excited to the fact that the 24-hour economy hasn't just been a campaign promise, but also being implemented. And I believe this is a new dawn for the nation. As leaders, Speaker rightly said, we are not going to be politicizing this. It's going to be a collaborative effort because it's going to be beneficial to the entire nation, especially for the younger generation, I believe. So then I'm very excited. Also for the implementation phase that members of parliament have been remembered, and we are starting members of parliament because as Speaker rightly said, we are in charge of our constituents and we all can be accountable. So then it's starting from parliament is the right way. And I believe that we are all going to support to ensuring that this is a success for the benefit of Ghanaians. And one thing that I was excited about is the show Ghana policy. watches to export things that are local to us. I was hoping to hear that language would be something that we'll be looking to export as well, because we've seen other countries do it. So then, as I said earlier on, we are all going to work together in tandem with you to ensure that this is a success, and you have the support of the development committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Applaud her effort. She's the best friend of my daughter. You know I do that. Yes, any more?
Yes, thank you very much, Speaker. We are also very delighted to be called upon this evening to listen to our man. We have confidence in this man, although we belong to the other political divide, but we always have confidence in him. Right, Honorable Speaker, like you rightly said, it's not one of our own, but we actually cherish him for what is made of. And we have confidence that he, being the chair of the 24-hour economy, he will be able to spearhead the affairs of the 24-hour economy to the extent that it shall be beneficial to the entire Ghanaian and the economy as well. Right, Honorable Speaker, I strongly believe that as we push our democracy forward, it has been my prayer that this government succeed, so that Ghana will move from the current level to another level. Because we started this dispensation in '92. There has been ups and downs, but we move forward as a nation. And I said that because during the inauguration, we were at the Independence Day. A lot of foreign delegates came from different countries. But when they were doing the introduction of the respective presidents that came, we mentioned names, and when they mentioned the president of Burkina Faso, the applause, the clapping, and everything, I sat down and I said, why are people have so special attachment for this president by way of clapping than all the other people? I pondered over it and I said, look, we as politicians driving this entire thing, there's the need for us to do something different. Say that we'll be able to maintain our democracy. That's why I'm saying that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, phase 1 and phase 2, we pray that he succeed, so that the crowding that we receive, that change that we are embarking on now, be it 24-hour economy, resetting the agenda and everything, is our prayer that Ghana will move from the current level to another level. It is our hope. Say that the successive president that will come, this will be a springboard for us to actually build on. So we have confidence in my brother Uzikano, and it's our prayer that I haven't gone through whatever material, but from the little presentation that he did in the chamber, flowing from that and what I've heard from him this evening with regards to the manufacturing, and the Go Ghana agenda. It's our prayer that everything will materialize. And whatever support that the other side of the political divide have to give is supported, we will do that. And my committee, the public administration, the state interest, will try and equip up and give all the legal support for Mother Ghana. I wouldn't say for the 24, for Mother Ghana. Whatever we are doing, Ghana first. So that's the comment. You have our support. Thank you very much.
I'm so happy you ended up with Ghana first. Well, that was his slogan when he formed his party. Ghana first. Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Right on the speaker. I'm not I'm a great, but I'm a certified design thinker as a phenomenon. And my fear, in most cases, we come out with so many conceptual framework, beautiful, but then quickly we recall it and then we say that we are a thinking people. I always say this: any organization, any government that calls back a policy, never thought about it before. I hope we've gone through the 4, the 5, and even the 6th stage which we've developed, and that the beautiful packaging you've seen will not come to the house and it will be the same old mantra that the minority will have its say, but the majority will have its way. That said, I believe that we believe that once we go through and then things are right in its place, we will gladly support it. Because RS said they have done a full policy based on one of the candidates, whom I believe that my brother surprised me that he wants the government. We want the government to succeed, but we want the government to terminate come 2028. We've done a good job on that. Yes, so thank you. I've known him since 1996. Yes, I'm not lying. I'm terrible. Yes. So thank you, and we look forward in seeing the more detailing work. Thank you. Right on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. From what I hear, one of the things we did in the House to reset Parliament before we use the term was to change everything. We changed everything in this House. So there are a number of committees in Parliament chaired by members of Parliament whose party is not in government. It's not a traditional Public Accounts Committee and the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. No, we've gone beyond that, even to sectorial committees. And so even though they are members of the New Patriotic Party, their party is not in government, they chair those committees. Because we see that when a member not in government chairs a committee, it has a lot of value to the oversight function of Parliament. And so we changed it. The only challenge we had was their numbers. You know, it's rather too low. So we're trying to balance it. Yes, they're trying to balance it in the position of the committee. Well, I took charge of all this, and I decided to use my experience here to mediate. You know, really, we are not, the majority having its way, minority having its say, and majority having its way. No, both majority and minority will have their say, but the national interest will have its way. That is where we move to now. We are now not talking about majority rule. We are talking about leaving nobody behind. That's important. I don't like the roar of the multitude. The roar of the multitude has little sagacity. Because you know how you can be pushed along. Because some people are there intimidating. So they don't give you room to think. But when you are few, you have space to to think through so many things. So I'm sure these 6 stages that you mentioned, they will have gone through it. Because as somebody told me, one of your members told me that if halfway there's any attempt at reneging, recoiling, that they were going to kill him. But knowing who he is, they don't believe that will happen. And so truly, he is going to be an anchor, and we're all going to look up to him. For us in Parliament, we do all we can. And they are there. Their prayer is that we build a solid foundation so that if they come to power, they can jump into media arrest. That's most important. And definitely, as the number of years, we don't know. But we leave that to the good people of Ghana. The most important thing is that nobody will ever stay young. You will grow. And whatever you do, you can be as beautiful as anything. The next day, you will not be beautiful. So the good people that will be applauding you today, the same people tomorrow will crucify you. And we learn even right out from the Holy Books that the best friend of Jesus was who? Judas Iscariot. But he sold him. So don't think that any party will be in power forever. I've always stated this on the floor of Parliament. The best is for us to help each other. I'm completely fed up with the culture of politics in Ghana, to be frank with you. I'm very, very fed up. I want the government in power to succeed. And I'm sure that even if the government succeeds, the government will not be in power forever, unless it's not a democratic state. And democracy, we must practice it. Not what others practice. Our own. We have to build our own type of democracy. And that day I also marketed myself. You know? At this whole world, anywhere I go now in the world, they remind me, oh, we're there. We saw you. And people even talk to me about how I introduced the president of Burkina Faso. You know, we propelled that kind of applause. But I'm sure we are learning. And I'm happy with really this parliament. I see a lot of very high potential. Very, very high potential. If we work well as leaders, I think that at the end of 4 years, we'll get more than we expected. I believe it. And I'm working totally toward that. That's why today the scholarships started to be good behavior. Even I will recommend you. A university came and offered us scholarships. Yes. We'll talk it. I told you we have seed money already, which we manage in the 8th parliament. We managed to get seed money for human resource development in parliament. And we took it up to the board, and the board approved it. So we have it there. We were doing it on our own, and we are happy that the university has come to offer some support to say that 20% of your course fee will be given as scholarship. 20% is good. The rest will try and top up. And you know how the education is. It's not that you have to pay all at once. Some of the courses are for 3 years, some are for 3 months. But you need to get Ghanaians to build their capacity in democratic governance. You can be a professor in any subject. When you come here, you are in primary 1. You have to stand there. There's nothing you can do about it. Or if you stand up there and just give at the young boys who will be playing tricks around you. So you have to start stating. And that is one of the things that they will support us to build that. Well, we need the people to understand what we do here. And as they come and interact with you, I'm sure they go with a different perception about Parliament. I think I'll take the last one and I want to hear from the lady before maybe the clerk can come in. Gender balance, you know, I'm very good about gender balance. No female voice. Okay, I think that's a gender balance because the director of public engagement is a lady, so she spoke. And then my sister here spoke. And you two of you. Also, the gender balance. So, Clark, you have something to say, then come back to force.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, just to add my voice to what members have just said, that we are delighted. And like you rightly pointed out, public service, we are already casting a vote. You rightly pointed out to them, and in your statement you indicated that what we call. Mr. Speaker, for you and I, we are here from morning to evening. Sometimes you barely even catch sleep when you are back here. What is significant in all this is patriotism, the burning desire to really see our nation succeed, because we've come very far, and the countries who started before us are high up there. They've done a lot in that area. It's not magic. It's just a mindset. And the decision to really make it. Like the typical student who really want to make it up in the university. Or get your A's and go to the medical school or the law school. You have no choice. You just to discipline yourself. So I think that we need to put ourselves in that position. That if Singapore, Malaysia, and the rest can make it, we can also get it. We've come very far. Mistakes have been made in the past. Governments have corrected themselves. And at this point in time, we find ourselves here with no well-intended policy. So what we need to do is to support this process. Be ready and willing to correct ourselves and take on board useful suggestions that can improve on what we have. I think if we do it this way, like the speaker indicated, members represent Ghana. So if this policy is coming here, for them to also pass it to a mix of people, and we are on the right trajectory. And I believe that it will do well. We will also have to cite ourselves as public servants. So we have a critical stake. That is why I'm happy we have the chair.